like Jonathan Taylor and that sort of offensive line that Wisconsin has?
You get both the
We
we got
expect
to talk.
both the answers, twice the answers now, guys.
They're just a physical team. Obviously, we know all the hype about Jonathan Taylor. He's a really good back. He's strong. He's fast, patient. So there's just a lot we take into account for, especially in practice. But there's different things we do about that. But we know what we're doing. We know what we have this week, and we're just going to prepare for that.
I know that you don't want to say you're more excited, maybe, but do you get more amped up to play a team like this that you know is physically comparable to what you guys see every day?
I mean, the way that we practice, it's always physical. Coach Washington, he's a physical guy. So if you don't see you playing to your physical, being real physical, then he's gonna call you out, and that's just gonna make you keep going and going, keep going. Yeah.
How often does he call you guys out?
Every play, for real. He just want to see us just go hard every time.
Yeah, that's just kind of how he is. He just wants to see you succeed, and he knows the matchup. He knows what's coming. As much as we say we're not excited, yes, we are. So games like this, you've seen what we've done to teams in the past, and we're looking for something like this to show what we really are about. But as far as Coach Washington, yeah, he's always on us, and he knows that too.
Because it's kind of the litmus test for you guys, right? Like, everyone talks all year about you guys have improved and you're better, but this is sort of the real one, I guess.
This game, you can really just watch the game type view for us. So I'll be real excited for that.
Guys, everyone's asking about Jonathan Taylor, but what's one thing about their offense that you guys are keyed in on other than him?
The offensive linemen, they're pretty big, 6'6", all over, So, we just the offensive linemen.
Yeah, other than the running back, we're seeing the best of what we faced so far as receivers and offensive line, even quarterback. Quarterback's been doing really well this year, but us linebackers, we're focused more on the offensive line, not necessarily receivers. But yeah, they're physical. All of them are over 300 pounds and aren't scared to put you on the ground. So we take that into account. But yeah, physical team, offensive line as well.
What stands out about the quarterback is I think a lot of people who assess Wisconsin say they always have a good running attack, but sometimes the quarterback play maybe isn't there. But this guy looks like he's making some high-level throws where they haven't made in the past.
Yeah, he has, and maybe he doesn't use his feet as well as other quarterbacks we've seen, but yeah, he does have a good arm on him, and we'll get to see that. But Wisconsin's a team, they use their tight ends a lot. They try to get you out of space, and he makes some throws that maybe look like they're not that tough just because it's a tough offense, so they're getting their guys wide open. But he is a good quarterback, and we've seen him make really good plays, and we've studied that.
How good is their play-action game?
It's the best we've seen.
Yeah. Today we really emphasize it on that, because they're a heavy run team, so us just instantly we see something like a run, we're gonna go down fast, but we've been really disciplined on seeing the hi-hat and things like that.
So then, how much does it help you guys have the three corners you do behind you?
It helps us a bunch because they can make up for the things that we do. If we're too stuck up on the run, they're going to help us out with that. But then again, yeah, Wisconsin, they're one of the best at play action. They'll get us a few times, but it's how we bounce back and go from there.
Do you guys need you guys to have Barron back on Saturday?
It means a lot. Just having another presence out there. Barron's a great player, so having him out there, we're excited.
Nobody wants to miss a game. I know you guys have next man up too, but what's he been like this week to try and get back out there and contribute a game?
He's my roommate, so I know it's like every day. He's in the training room like early, 6 a.m. He's there, so he's trying to get back.
So what was he like last week? Coming around depressed?
Nah, same way. He was the same way. He was trying to play that last week, so it just didn't go his way. So this he was really in the training room.
Hey, for both of you guys, is this a linebacker? I know every game's a linebacker intensive game, but when they can a lot of people think Jonathan Taylor could be the best back in the country. I know you guys are arguing J.K. probably is, but I mean when they can throw that kind of play action at you, just how intense do you have to be on Saturday? Maybe more so than regular Saturdays.
Yeah, it's.
Here's a guy that can take it to the house.
Right. Yeah. So it is a tough game for the linebackers, knowing the big run team that they are, as well as play action. So it's tough on us, but we just got to read our keys, open up our eyes, and kind of play football.
Do you look forward to that, Malik? I mean, that kind of game?
I mean, yeah, it's really going to test our discipline. We got to see hi-hat, and get back. You know, just read our keys.
Yeah, and it seems like y'all have risen. This program has risen to the occasion the last several years when there's a premier back you're going against. What is it about going against a premier back that kind of gets you going as a linebacker?
We just know that if we're going against a premier back, if we stop him, we stop that team. Their offense is based off of this dude. We stop him, we're going to win the game.
I'm curious, guys, do you watch last week's tape of Wisconsin, or do you throw it away?
Do we watch?
Like, obviously the loss to Illinois, it's a weird loss, sort of an anomaly for them, the way they played. Do you learn more from that, or do you learn more from watching their earlier games?
I mean, you just watch. We just had different plays. We take some plays out from that from when we watched the film from Illinois. So we just all over the place for them. You don't really just focus on one game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they did so many terrible things against that team. We're just going to take bits and pieces from each game and kind of learn from there, because you see they won that game, but we're just going to grab little pieces that Illinois did well and kind of focus on how they did that, what about that did well, and just take pieces from each.
What did they do well?
Situations this week where you guys could have 4 linebackers on the field at the same time?
I mean, yeah, because they bring extra tight ends, extra linemen, so you don't see that.
Because you guys have done that every now and then during this season, right?
Yeah. For certain personnels, you can see that.
And their personnel might require that more than some other teams, depending?
Yeah. Okay. Especially with a run dominant team, that's kind of what you'll see. Yeah.
So the idea of that, how good do you feel about those situations with the linebackers that you guys have on this team, that you could put 4 linebackers out there who could be 4 pretty good linebackers?
Yeah, we just have a lot of depth at the linebackers position, so we're going to be very confident, especially with this run dominant team. Bringing in an extra linebacker is the best way to go.
So then when they bring in 2 offensive linemen into the backfield, what goes through you guys' mind as linebackers?
We just got to be physical.
We know what's coming. They've only shown a few things out of that package, so just kind of read our keys and run down, play football.
Before a play like that starts, though, it's not like lining up against regular guys. You know what I mean? Do you kind of like brace
on your toes a little bit more.
I mean,
you're kind of downhill, get your hands ready. It's just you kind of you're intense, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what's coming.
Yeah.
You guys have been a lot better against the run this year. How important have the D linemen in front of you been to that?
It makes our job easy. What they do in front of us opens up the gaps for us to fill and make tackles.
Yeah, we really just feed off each other. We pound our gap. It frees them up and frees us up too.
Yeah, just compliment each other.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.